What if almost everything you think you know about dinosaurs is wrong? What if the asteroid that wiped them out, the cataclysmic event etched into our textbooks and documentaries, never actually ended their reign? What if instead it merely ushered in a new, terrifying, and profoundly hidden chapter of their dominion, a chapter that continues to this very day? For decades, the narrative has been clear. 66 million years ago, a massive asteroid slammed into the Yucatan Peninsula. The impact triggered a global winter, acid rain, and seismic chaos, leading to the collapse of ecosystems worldwide. Dinosaurs, behemoths of the land, air, and sea, vanished. Life, as the story goes, started anew from the ashes, paving the way for mammals and eventually us. It's a compelling, dramatic tale, a cosmic reset button pressed with unimaginable force. We've all seen the artist's renditions: colossal fireballs, tsunamis, the last roars of dying giants. But every story, even the most widely accepted, holds shadows, inconsistencies, and whispers of what might have been overlooked. And when you look closely at those shadows, you start to see shapes that defy the textbooks, shapes that suggest the ultimate apex predators did not simply vanish. Now let's step back from the textbook narrative for a moment. The scientific consensus on the KPG extinction event, while robust, isn't without its nuances. While 75% of all species vanished, some groups incredibly did survive. Crocodilians, for instance, ancient reptiles, weathered the storm. Birds, modern-day dinosaurs themselves, soared through the ash-filled skies. Why them? What specific traits allowed certain lineages to persist, while others, seemingly just as resilient, withered away? Some scientists point to size, dietary flexibility, or even burrowing habits. But what if there was another factor? What if the very definition of a dinosaur became fluid, adaptable, even deceptive in the face of such global upheaval? Imagine a world plunged into darkness, food chains collapse, surfaces become uninhabitable. What does a creature of immense size and immense hunger do? It adapts, or it dies. But if it adapts, how far can that adaptation go? How long can a lineage continue, unseen, unheard, evolving in ways we can barely conceive, beneath the very ground we walk upon? The question isn't if some dinosaurs survived, but how many, and what did they become? The fossil record, while our primary window into deep time, is inherently incomplete. It's a series of snapshots, often fragmented, often biased towards environments conducive to fossilization. We find extraordinary creatures, yes, but we also encounter baffling gaps. Lazarus taxa, species that disappear from the fossil record for millions of years only to reappear, hint at populations surviving in unknown refugia. Think of the coelacanth, a fish thought to be extinct for 65 million years, only to be rediscovered alive and well in 1938. What if similar, far more significant Lazarus events are simply beyond our current comprehension? What if the last true non-avian dinosaurs didn't just vanish, but instead underwent an evolutionary bottleneck so extreme, so transformative, that their descendants are no longer recognizable as what we traditionally call dinosaurs? We know certain dinosaur groups possessed incredible adaptive plasticity, small, nimble theropods, for instance, or highly specialized burrowing forms. Imagine these lineages, driven by an existential threat, developing senses beyond ours, evolving to thrive in environments utterly alien to the surface world. Their skin might become translucent, their eyes adapted to perpetual darkness, their metabolism slowed to glacial pace, or accelerated to an unfathomable degree. The very idea challenges our comfortable classifications. What if their evolutionary path veered not towards feathers and flight, but towards something far more sinister, far more enduring, born from the crucible of an impact winter, deep beneath the surface of the Earth? This brings us to a theory, often whispered only in the fringes of scientific discourse, known as the deep Earth theory. It posits that while the surface world became a graveyard, the vast, unexplored networks of subterranean caves and geothermal systems offered a brutal yet survivable sanctuary. Imagine pockets of methane-rich atmospheres, nutrient-dense hydrothermal vents, and an endless labyrinth of tunnels offering protection from radiation and atmospheric shock waves. This isn't science fiction. Extremophile life thrives in such conditions today. What if some dinosaurs, those with the right predisposition, the right genetic lottery, burrowed down, not just to survive the immediate catastrophe, but to build a new world, a world where they continued to evolve, unseen for 66 million years? Such a scenario would explain the persistent yet officially unsubstantiated reports of unclassified large reptilian sightings across the globe, cryptids like the Mokalembembe in the Democratic Republic of Congo, described by indigenous tribes as a long-necked, elephant-sized creature, or the anomalous sonar readings from deep sea trenches suggesting immense unknown organisms. These are often dismissed as hoaxes or misidentifications, but what if they are fleeting glimpses of a subterranean or even suboceanic domain where the true heirs to the Mesozoic still reign? A hidden biome, untouched by the sun, evolving in ways that confound our surface world biology, harboring creatures whose ancestral lines stretch unbroken back to a time when Pangaea was just starting to rift apart. They wouldn't be the dinosaurs we know from museums. They would be something else entirely, something ancient, something evolved, something profoundly alien, yet fundamentally linked to the titans of old. A silent subterranean Mesozoic, a hidden chapter of Earth's history perpetually unfolding beneath our feet. To this day, we have explored less than 5% of our oceans. We've barely scratched the surface of the Earth's crust. Our understanding of the deep biosphere, hundreds of meters below ground, is still in its infancy. We project human biases onto the history of life, assuming linear progression, assuming a clear end to every chapter. But what if the story of life on Earth is far more sprawling, far more resilient, and far more terrifying than we allow ourselves to believe? What if the most dominant life forms in history never truly relinquished their crown? What if they merely moved their kingdom? And if this hidden empire does exist, what does it mean for us, the fleeting surface-dwelling mammals who falsely believe we are the planet's apex predators? The truth might be echoing in the deep, silent chambers below, a truth that, once brought to light, could shatter our understanding of history, of evolution, and of our precarious place in the grand ancient tapestry of life. If you want to dive deeper into the hidden histories of our planet, the next video explores the chilling possibility of ancient civilizations buried ice-deep in Antarctica.